we just look at the glories of Ishwar, which Bhagavan described in the last chapter. And having described the Gyan in the first 9 chapters, Bhagavan said to Arjun at the end, to give your mind to me, give your mind to me, become my bhakt. He said, worship me and me alone, which is very important. There are a lot of entities which people worship, and each entity has their own circle of sphere of effect. So whosoever you worship, that's the entity which is going to provide you with whatever they are able to do. But Ishwar, Bhagavan, is the Supreme Lord. He can provide everything anywhere to anybody who worships him. So there is no limit to what he can do, because he is Ishwar. He is the boss of every other entity which people worship. So that's why he said, worship me alone. That way you will not go astray. You will stay in one direction and you will come to me. He said, bow only to me. Don't bow your head to any other entity, just to me only. Thus, fixing your Atma in me, when you become fully devoted in me, you shall come to me and me alone. So that was the crux of the whole talk which Bhagavan gave to Arjun. He finally said, after all Gyan, that is the essence of it, that you must just worship me and me alone. To anyone who is interested in uplifting themselves, the foregoing statement will raise many questions. If you are looking into the numerous interpretations available in print of Bhagavad Gita or other places you will see, you will be disappointed. Because every interpretation has the agenda of the person who is making the interpretation. So the smart thing to do would be to just do it yourself. Learn some Sanskrit. It's not that difficult. And you will be fine, because then you know what Bhagavan is saying. Don't go into different interpretations. It is very straightforward, like we just talked about. Bhagavan says, just worship me and me alone. There is nothing else. That's very simple and straightforward. So if you go into different things, people try to give different colors to things. They make it so difficult for you to understand. Big words they put in their interpretations. And then you go looking for those words, what they mean. And then you say, well, it's too hard for me to understand. So I have decided to point out from time to time the common misunderstandings which people have and try to correct them based only on Ishwar Gyan. So in 2nd chapter, Bhagavan first scolds Arjun to shake him up. Bhagavan says, what is the purpose of your delusion? Delusion is not valued by noble people. Those who are noble people, they don't value delusion more. And you want to be mobile, or you want to be a noble person, then you don't need to be in this state of delusion. And neither it helps to go to Swarg. You cannot go to Swarg if you're deluded. Moh will not, it be an obstacle. Nor it gives name and fame in this world. So these were the 3 aspects of life in those days. name, fame, kirti, or going to heaven, or be a noble person. Bhagavan says to Arjun, do not act like an impotent. O scorcher of foes, shake away the weakness of your heart and stand up to fight. So, the moh or attachment makes one weak. Arjun was in the state of moh. Being such a big fighter of his time, nobody could defeat him. He succumbed to the powers of moh. Attachment is also moh. So it makes a person weak. In that state, one is unable to do the right karma. In our daily life, same thing. Moh affects us too. So we go in a different direction. We don't zero in on the right path. What we're supposed to do, we forget because moh makes us do that. So the bondage of moh, what is the bondage of karma? It's moh. Moh is the one which binds us. Attachment is all same thing. So that brought Arjun, who was a fierce fighter, down to his knees. He could not. He was ready to give up. Bhagavan has equated moh with the bottomless swamp. Like you go in the swamp, you step into a soft spot, you can't come out of it. It keeps going down and down and down. Or same thing people call quicksand. Once you step into it, you cannot escape from it on your own. You need help for somebody to pull you out of there. So moh, same way, we are in a state of delusion. In moh, is where we cannot come out ourselves. We need help from somebody who knows how to deal with moh. The nature of moh or attachment to sansar is such that we get entangled into it. We, being in the state of agyan or ignorance, get deluded by the shine of the sansar through its effect on our senses. So what is agyan? In the state of agyan, not knowing what is right and what is not real, whatever our senses perceive, that is what we get attached to. And we follow that direction. Delusion is the correct translation of the word moh. More we try to satisfy the hunger for the sansar and its contents, our hunger only grows. Thus, we keep going deeper and deeper into moh. Not having the jnana to get out of it, we are taken over by the state of moh. Now, what's the example of it? A very simple example is the feeling of a mother or her child that the child can never do anything wrong. Some women, mothers say, my child cannot do this. Okay, they'll go to any length to defend the child, even though child is doing wrong thing. That is moh. Okay, that's simple as I can tell you. And this goes on a lot all over the world. So now the question is, where do we get this jnana? Because moh is because of the agyan, not knowing what is real and what is not real. So somebody loses some of their near and dear friend or relative, and In India, the custom was that you should go visit before they die. And they could not do that, being far away. These customs were made when people did not travel very much. So, and then they feel guilty that we did not get there. Some get to the state of depression even. The guilt take them into depression. It's all moh. But if you have jnana, it says the person who has departed, his tour of duty is done, he's gone to the next life. So you don't need to mourn too much for it, just pray for a person. That's all you can do. But this doesn't happen because of moh. So where do we get this jnana? So we can keep us from going into the state of delusion. We cannot find it in any book. There is no books which contain jnana. It can only be obtained from the one who is beyond the reach of moh. It is the jnana of Ishwar which can help us get out of the state of moh. Bhagavan Sri Krishna was Ishwar avatar. Even in Gita, you can read all Gita all you want to, you will not understand until and unless Ishwar Kripa is on you. Unless he wants you to understand, you will not understand what is in Gita. Okay? And that's why there are so many interpretations. So, Bhagavan Sri Krishna was Ishwar avatar. He has also been called, one of his name is Nirmohi. Nirmohi means the one who is beyond moh, has no moh to anybody. Okay? He therefore identified the state of delusion in Arjuna because he knew what it is. He doesn't have it and he knew what it is. So he identified the state of delusion in Arjuna. And when Arjuna took refuge in him, went into his sharan and asked to be his disciple, Bhagavan started to give him jnana. That's the only way you get jnana. You don't get jnana by reading Gita or any other book. This brings me to the misconception that one can become sthit prajna while being in this sansar. Now, a long time ago, we discussed there's two pathways, two rivers flowing. One is that of sansar and other is Ishwar. Now, we just saw that Ishwar is nirmohi. So that path has no moh. It has jnana in it. This sansar path has no jnana in it. No Ishwar jnana. It's totally separate. That's why it cannot cross over or go to next to Ishwar pathway. They are two separate pathways. So, being in sansar means that you are engaged into the activities of the sansar. And activities of sansar, what are they? They are doing daily things, living life, stuff like this, and being engaged into it. People say, well, I'm going to do this good to somebody, I'm going to do this charity, and this. It's all trigunatmak. Okay? It's not nirgun, it's all trigunatmak. That's sansar is. The truth is that if one is in sansar, he is subject to the forces of moh, because sansar has moh in it. However, once we move towards Ishwar Gyan, we slowly, in a very subtle way, move away from moh. Okay? And towards the state of being sthit prajna. Now, one can remain in sansar and not be affected by the forces of moha. So if you remember in Gita, when Arjun took refuge in Bhagavan Krishna, first thing Bhagavan did was to give him jnana. That's the very first thing he did. He said, Atma lives forever, it never dies. Sansar it doesn't stay same all the time, it just slowly decays. Everything in sansar decays. And after giving the jnana, which is Sankhya Yoga, Bhagavan moved over to Karma Yoga. In the second chapter, where he said, Neha bhi karmana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpa kalpasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So, what this tells us? It tells us that first you get jnana. Then and only then you can follow or go into state of Karma Yoga. When you go and live your life as a Karma Yogi, then the changes occur within you. Okay? We don't know even, but you slowly and slowly change from within. Like we were talking earlier, inside we don't know what we are. But once you get jnana, and armed with the jnana, you can then perform Karma Yoga. You cannot do Karma Yoga without jnana. So, and you become Karma Yogi. It may take one life or 2 lives, whatever. And then, after being in a state of as a Karma Yogi, when you change from within, then you become Sthit Prajna, a state of Sthit Prajna. This word is only in Gita, nowhere else. Sthit Prajna means that your mind, your buddhi is established, situated, totally established in Ishwar. Pragya is sthit, sthir pragya. And the pragya is your man, buddhi, those are. So, that's how you become sthit pragya. Once you become sthit pragya, then your sansar doesn't affect you. Okay? Sansar only affects those who are in the state of moha, ajnana. So the bottom line is that without Ishwar Jnana, all bets are off. After obtaining the Jnana, one lives like a Karma Yogi. This causes transformation in him from within, and eventually he becomes indifferent to whatever is happening in sansar. See what is Sthit Prajna? He is indifferent what's happening. He is neither for or nor against. Because if you are against, you have committed a karma, bondage karma. If you are for it, you are still you're getting into the bondage of karma. You created another karma, sansar karma. So the Sthit Prajna is indifferent. That's the key word. Whatever is happening, it's happening. He understands why it's happening, why and who is doing it, how it is being done. He knows all that because first he got the jnana, and that jnana tells him why it's happening now, who's doing it, and so it doesn't affect him. He says, it doesn't matter to me what's happening. He has no moha. So, thus the forces of moha cannot affect him. Once you start to think about why it's happening to this person, why he's so sick and he's so this, and you start worrying about the person, that means you are getting into the attachment phase. Okay? But if the Gyan tells this is his karma and he is suffering from this karma, when this karma part will be over, he'll be fine. Okay? So, if there is medication to be given, that's fine, you're doing your duty. Other than that, you have no attachment to what's going on. That's what this person do. For sansari person, it's totally what you call, it really is, he don't understand what it is. It's alien to the person. Okay? Because he says, you must help this person, you go do something. Well, the guy says, I cannot do anything for the person. Okay? So, Sthit Prajna can stay in sansar because he is indifferent and he is not affected by whatever is going on in the sansar. Now we start the 11th chapter. Whatever we read in chapter 7 to this time is called Shabd Gyan. The Gyan that is contained in the words spoken by Ishwar Avatar. That's what Shabd Gyan is. So Bhagavad Gita has the words spoken by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So you have Shabd Gyan in there too. Anyone can read these words. However, the correct meaning contained in these words can only be understood when Ishwar Avatar bestows his kripa. Other than that, you cannot understand. In the case of Arjun, the Avatar was standing right in front of him, delivering the Gyan. Arjun was equipped with the intellectual proficiency when it came to Devta Gyan and Gyan of Sansar. He knew everything. He knew Ved, Puran, he knew everything to be known from the Sansar point. He was expert in music. That's why he became Brahman Lala. He was teaching music to the daughter of, what is his name? The king, the Virat, yeah, the daughter of Virat. So he was teaching him dance because he knew, he knows dance, he knows everything. Because he was son of Indra. So all this is to, whatever this whole thing is all Trigunatmak. All the Gyan is Trigunatmak, which Arjun knew. Arjun did not know the Nirgun Gyan, the Gyan of Ishwar. And this Trigunatmak Gyan is of no help to understand the Nirgun Gyan of Ishwar. They are totally different things. Therefore, Bhagavan was delivering the Gyan with the power for him to understand. So he was able to understand what Bhagavan was saying and its correct meaning of each word spoken by Bhagavan. And Arjun kept coming back with questions quickly because he understood. Why he understood? Because Bhagavan Krishna gave him the power to understand what he was saying. Through his spoken words, Bhagavan said to Arjun that I am Ishwar. Very clearly he said, I am Ishwar. He also said that there is my glory in everything that exists in sansar. In the 10th chapter, Arjun said that thou art Paramatma. Rishi Vyas calls you Paramatma. Rishi Narad and Deval too call you Paramatma. And you yourself say that you are Paramatma. However, how can I believe that thou art Paramatma? See, there was Shanka in his mind. He had questions. Everybody says that you are Paramatma. You yourself say you are Paramatma. Prove it to me. How do I believe? Because there is no Gyan there. However, how can I believe that you are Paramatma? Then Bhagavan explained that my Shakti are present everywhere. Without my Shakti, nothing will exist. I am Sarvatmak as well as Sarvyapak. That means I have covered everyone, everything is under me. Sarvyapak. And he is within everything. And his energy is, his Shakti is what is running everything. So he becomes Sarv Atmak. He is Atma of everything also. If he pulls these powers away, everything will cease to exist. Everything is made up of particles. In the sansar, our body, everything what you see in Prapanch is made out of particles which are called Parmanu. They are very small, tiny, invisible particles. The Shakti which puts them together, puts each Parmanu together, Bhagavan says, is my Shakti Maya. So our body is all put together by powers of Maya. And the Parmanus are put in there in such a way, their quality and quantity is different in there. And that's why it's also time dependent. So as we age, we get older and the Parmanus are not replaced. Every day we lose Parmanu from our body. And every day the new Parmanus are brought into it. It's all done by nature, by the Shakti of Maya, Ishwar Shakti. And when you are young, you have more new Parmanu coming in there. That's why you are in the growing phase, teenage, whatever, As we get older, the new Parmanu coming is less and less, and we are losing the old ones. And that's the process of aging. And eventually, the new Parmanu stop coming in and we die. Through my Shakti, my sovereignty is in everything. Bhagavan tells Ishwar. Bhagavan tells Arjuna. Ishwar is non-doer. He doesn't do anything. He is akarta. But it is his sovereignty under which all happens. Sarvabhaumik Satta. Sovereignty. Without it, nothing will happen. Okay? Since Maya does everything and is within each of us, it says that all of us belong to her. Okay? This way, Ishwar is present in all of us. However, in some instances, a special presence of Ishwar, Shakti, appears. And this is what is called Vibhuti. Arjuna understood all this, and he said that I understood it by your spoken words. However, I would like to see what you have described through your spoken words. I like to really see with my eyes. Then I can believe. Like they say, seeing is believing. So Arjuna says, I want to see whatever you told me, everything I want to see. So in this chapter, Arjuna, knowing that Bhagavan is ready to do all for him, he knew that whatever he asks, Bhagavan will do. He asked Bhagavan to show his vibhuti. Knowing that what he is asking for is a very difficult task, Arjuna makes a request to Bhagavan and says, Arjuna Uvacha,
Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaya Paramam Guhyamadhyatma Sangitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama.
Mad Anugraha. Mad Anugraha, out of compassion towards me. Yat Paramam Guhyam, that most secret Adhyatma Gyan, Adhyatma Sangitam, the spiritual wisdom, Vach Tva Uktam, the words which you spoke, Ten Mam Ayam Moh Vigata, With that, my agyan has been destroyed. Moh is gone. Here we need to pay attention to every word. First and foremost is Ishwar Kripa or compassion. So Arjun says, Mad Anugraha, because your compassion towards me. Once we earn it, Ishwar gives us the most secret spiritual wisdom, the Gyan. So Arjun says, you gave me Gyan. And he does it through his spoken words. Because he spoke to Arjun. He gave the Gyan through his spoken words. This results in destruction of Agyan. This is what happened to Arjun. Arjun says, Bhagavan, that most secret adhyatma, words spoken by thee out of compassion towards me, have destroyed my Agyan. Arjun further states as to what he wants to see in the next shlok.
भवाप्ययौ हि भूतानां श्रुतौ विस्तरशो मया त्वत्तः कमलपत्राक्ष माहात्म्यमपि चाव्ययम्
Tvattah Kamal Patraksha he says he, because Kamal Patraksham, O thou with eyes of like lotus petal, Maya Shruto Tota, I have heard from thee, Vistarasya, in detail, an account, Bhutanam, of all Prani Bhut, how they come in the world and go. Bhav Apyayo, their origin and dissolution in the sansar. How these Prani Bhut come in the sansar and they leave. And how sansar is destroyed. I heard all that from you. And I have heard Api also Abhyam Mahatmayam, thy inexhaustible greatness or the glory. Here Arjun is saying that Bhagavan, I have heard from thee in detail as to how all prani appear in sansar and how they all leave sansar. Bhagavan started to tell this in chapter 2, where he said that Atma is never destroyed. Only the body made of prapanch is destroyed. You also described, Arjun says, the creation and dissolution of sansar. Bhagavan told him how the sansar is created and how it is destroyed. Pralay, which too is the expansion of prapanch. I also heard the glory and greatness of Paramatma. Now in the next shlok, Arjun says, he continues,
एवमेतद् यथार्थत्वम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुमिच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम.
Hey Parameshwar, I understand. It is true that thou art what thou describe thyself to be. However, Hey Purushottam, I desire to see your Aishwarya Rupam, your Aishwarya Roop. He wants to see exactly what really he is, what Paramatma is. Aishwar and Ishwar. Ishwar has Aishwarya, The one who has Ashwar over the whole creation is Ishwar. So he says, I want to see your Ashwara Rupam. The Roop which is endued with Gyan, glory, power, splendor. I would like to see thy Ishwar Roop. He goes on to say in the next slok,
Manyase yadi tachhakyam maya drashtumiti prabho yogeshvara tato me tvam darshayatmanam avyayam.
Hey Prabhu. Now what the word Prabhu is very powerful word. What the Prabhu means. People say, Prabhu aap kaise hain? People just greet people like that. It's very bad, it's wrong. Prabhu is the entity which can create the sansar and dissolve it. Prabhuta. Okay, this means that is his Prabhuta. He is Lord of everything. That's the only Prabhu. We cannot call somebody Prabhu. Some people say Prabhupada. No. He has no power to create and dissolve sansar. The one who has the power over the entire creation is the Prabhu. So Arjun says, hey Prabhu, if you think, see he requested, but then he says, qualifies, if you think that it is possible for me to be able to see thy Ishwar Roop, then hey Yogeshwar, see he used the word Yogeshwar. You make the yog. You are the Ishwar who makes the yog. You make me able to see it. So he says, hey Yogeshwar, reveal thy immutable, imperishable form to me. See, Arjun knew how to talk to Paramatma. He knew all these things. So he used different words. First he says, Kamalakshan. You are lotus eye, hey Prabhu. If you think that I can see this thing, then show it to me. He's not demanding, he's just saying, very polite way, very humble way, he's saying that. So although Arjun has learned the Gyan of Jeev, Devta, Ishwar, Prapanch, as well as that of creation and resolution, through the words spoken by Bhagwan, he now wanted to see all that to be revealed to him in their form, correct form. So having listened to Arjun, Shri Bhagwan says, Shri Bhagwan Uvach, in the next slok, that now having listened to the request from Arjun, Shri Bhagwan started to speak, granting him the permission to see all Devata, humans, animals, birds, and all Charachar, the movable and immovable creatures, along with all amazing scenes of the creation. To be able to see all this, Bhagwan will give Arjun the divine sight, with which Arjun will be able to see the entire creation and dissolution, how the sansar is being created and dissolved all the time, within the body of Bhagwan, not anywhere else, just within that body of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Because Bhagwan Sri Krishna body is made up of Maya. It has everything in it. So he's going to see it all embodied in the body of Bhagwan Krishna. So Bhagwan says,
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashya me Partha Rupani Shathashotha Sahasrashah नानाविधानि दिव्यानि नानावर्णाकृतीनि च.
O Parth, Arjun, now you see hundreds and thousands of my multifarious divine forms, which are all different and are of different colors and forms. See, all devatas have different colors. And what will Arjun see? Bhagavan describes in the next shloka.
पश्यादित्यान् वसून् रुद्रान् अश्विनौ मरुतस्तथा बहून्यदृष्टपूर्वाणि पश्याश्चर्याणि भारत.
Bhagavan says, Bharat, hey Arjun, Pashya, behold in me, Adityas, those 12 suns, and Vasun, those 8 Vasus, Rudran, the Rudras, the 11 Devatas of destruction, Rudra, Ashwani, the twin Ashwani, the physicians of Devata, and Maruta, Marut, the 49 wind Devatas. And what else? Pashya, behold or witness, Bahuni adrashta purvani, many more never before seen, Ashcharyani, wondrous forms which have never been seen before by anybody. Now Bhagavan is telling Arjun as to what he will see within the Srimurti of Bhagavan Krishna, standing right in front of him. He says you will see the 12 suns. There are 12 suns, one sun for each month. When the pralaya happens, all 12 suns are there in full strength, full power. And that's how everything incinerates. And Vishnu is the main sun in that. And what else you see? 8 Vasus. Those are 8 Vasus. One of them was, you remember in Mahabharata, one came to earth as Pitama. There are Vasus, 8 Vasus. Vasus, the word is Vasundhara. Vasundhara is called, earth is called Vasundhara. It contains Vasus, means all the treasures. So there are 8 Vasus. You will see 11 Rudra. You will see Ashwani Kumar, the twin brothers. You will see 49 Marut, which are all Devatas. In addition, he says you will see many wondrous forms of mine, which have never seen before. So see how much Kripa was on Arjun. He's saying, you see everything, which even not have ever been seen by anybody before. I'll show you everything. Listening to this, Arjun started to think that this represents the whole creation. Okay? Arjun wanted to see the great power which was working in the entire creation. He just wanted to see the power. The generator where all this power is coming from. He just wanted to see that. But now he says, Bhagavan is going to show him everything else, whole creation. But here Bhagavan said that you see each and everything in the creation in which my Shakti is working. So all Devata, Shakti is Bhagavan, Shakti is working Devata. That's why Devata work. That's how everything is there, is existing because of Ishwar Shakti. My glory is present everywhere. Now in the Vibhuti Yoga, Bhagavan told that thy Vibhuti or glory is present everywhere. So does Arjun need to visit each and everything of the creation separately? This the question arises. Because you see everything. And he says, my glory is each and everything. So does he need to go and see one thing here is his glory, then the next one in glory? No. Bhagavan said, no, you will see all at one place. So he says in next slok,
इहैकस्थं जगत्कृत्स्नं पश्याद्य सचराचरं मम देहे गुणाकेश यच्चान्यद्द्रष्टुमिच्छसि.
Bhagavan says, Godakesh, hey Arjun, Adya, now, Ihe Ekasyam, situated in this one place. You don't have to go everywhere, just one place. Mama Deha, what place is that? In this body of mine. Pashya, you will see Sacharacharam, this moving and unmoving Jagat, Krishnam, the whole universe. See, you don't have to go anywhere. You will see in this body of mine, you will see everything. Chayat drashtam ichhami. And all else that you desire to see. Whatever I told you, you will see. You can see more. Whatever you desire, you can see in there. I'll show it to you. So Bhagavan is telling Arjun that now you will see the entire universe in one place, inside of the body of mind. There are two aspects of Ishwar, the Sarvyapak and Sarvatmak. So here Bhagavan is saying that although you will see all within the body of mind, because all that is in me, however, remember that I am not in any of them. They are all in me, Sarvyapak, but I am not in any of them. I am separate from all of them. I remain separate from all. So next, Bhagavan says, next slok,
न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुम् अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्.
but surely you will not be able to see. You will not be able to see me or what is contained within me with your human eyes. Because the powers working inside are sukshma. They are finer powers. So our drishti, our eyes are parthiv, made out of earth. And the sight is very coarse sight. That's why when you want to see really thread a needle with a very fine thread, you need to have some sort of magnifying glass or something, unless your eyes are really great. Or if you want to read something written in very small letters, you can't read with your eyes. You need magnification. So these chakshu are not made. And the Ishwar powers, the divine powers, are finer yet. Okay. So you cannot see. You cannot see Devata with these eyes. You cannot see anything. What Bhagavan is going to show. So he says, I'll give you. So the sthul is unable to see the divine, which is sukshma. Therefore, divyam dadami te chakshu. I am giving to you the divine sight with which pashyame yogameshwaram. You will be able to see the Yog Shakti of Ishwar, which you had desired to see. Before proceeding further, we will need to reflect on and understand about the divine sight, Divya Drishti, and who all were able to see the Vishwarup. We will take this up next time. Sri Krishna.